MS Word 2007, Page Setup 1. The open space on a page in MS Word is called white space. The amount of white space in a document helps to improve readability. The page layout is the way in which you present your typed information on a page, while the margin is the white space that surrounds the typed text on a page. You can adjust margins in a Microsoft Word document. Select the Page Layout tab to change the margins. Now the page layout ribbon becomes visible. To change or customize the margins, click on the Page Setup arrow to activate the Page Setup dialog box. In the Page Setup group, click on the Margins drop-down arrow. The Margins drop-down menu list appears. Click on the Custom Margins option. The Page Setup dialog box opens. Click on the Margins tab. The Margins section of the Page Setup dialog box is divided into top, bottom, left, right, and gutter. You can change any option. To change any of the margins, use the scrolling arrows. To increase the margin, click on the up arrow. To decrease the margin, click on the down arrow. Once you have made a selection, click the OK button. The Page Setup dialog box closes and the margins have changed. The paper size refers to the dimensions of the paper that the document will be printed on. To change the paper size, click on the Page Setup arrow in the Page Setup group to activate the Page Setup dialog box. Now click on the Paper tab. In the Paper Size section of the dialog box, click on the drop-down arrow. A list of paper sizes appears. This list gives the name of the paper size as well as the dimensions. Click on the paper size that you want. The size of the paper that you select is shown in the Paper Size text box. You can also view the dimensions, width and height here. Once you have selected paper size, click OK to close the dialog box. MS Word has two orientation options, Portrait and Landscape. The word orientation means the way in which text is presented on a page. To change the orientation of a page, select the Page Layout tab. In the Page Setup group, click on the drop-down arrow for orientation. The two options, Portrait and Landscape, will appear. Word always defaults on Portrait. This means that in MS Word, the orientation of the paper will always be set to Portrait. Click on Landscape as an example. The page orientation will now display in Landscape. A page border is a good way to finish off a document. A page border appears around the edge of the page. To add a page border to a document, click on the Page Layout tab. In the Page Background group, click on the Page Borders button. The Borders and Shading dialog box opens. Click on the Page Border tab. The dialog box has the following layout. 1. Style of line. This gives you a choice of line, for example, dotted or dash. 2. Color. This option gives you a choice of colors for the page border. 3. Width. This option allows you to choose the thickness of the line. 4. Art. This gives a more artistic and fun option for a page border. 5. Preview. This option shows a sample of what the page border will look like. 6. Apply to. Here you have a choice of which sections or pages the border should be applied to. To apply a page border, you select a style of line or style of art. If you selected a line, choose a width for the line. Click on the box option in the left pane of the window. A sample of the page border appears in the preview window. Click OK to close the dialog box and apply the changes. The dialog box closes and the page border is applied. Here you can see an example of an artistic page border.